We're live, pal. Welcome to
Go for the Pin. Go for the Pin Wrestling Review Show.
With your boys, Mikey Q and
King V, aka Ember Moon Knight, aka Michelle McCool Running, aka Summer Ray Charles,
Mikey Q and King V.
King V, what's going on, homie?
Give your energy and feed that vibe into the world.
Mike, you still owe me a chopped cheese.
I mean,
hey Mike.
Go for the Pin.
Welcome to Go for the Pin, episode 76, with your host, Mikey Q and
King V, aka Bad News Brown Bear.
Whoa. Okay, I like that one. Yeah, okay, all right.
That was for somebody specifically.
Okay. Well, First off, I want to say happy birthday to King B.
Yay, right. Thank you. By the time you guys see this, your boy is gonna be drunk somewhere.
Okay.
So, yeah.
All right.
Yeah.
All right. Well, everybody, we're gonna be transparent. No, we're not here. But we're here. But today we do have a very special guest. I've been wanting to get this person on for a very long time, and we're having some technical problems in the green room, but it's okay. It's okay. Anyway, I consider her a history maker. Okay, and I'm very proud of her. And I wanted this person on just because it means so much to have somebody that looks like us.
Yes.
In top positions. Okay, so we are live, but we're not live. We're
live adjacent. We're live.
Yeah, live adjacent. Yeah. Mm-hmm. So we're waiting for our guest to get on, but I promise you guys, the wait is worth it's worth the wait. Okay, it looks like we do have our guest back here. So, ladies and gentlemen, co-owner of Battle Club Pro up here in New York, Janelle from HR. What's going on? Welcome to Go for the Pin.
Yes. Thank you guys for having me. This is exciting. I don't get to be on the other side ever. So
it's funny when I was trying to find I was trying to find your social media, and it was like, okay, where is she? I think I was looking for your Twitter one day. Do you actually have one? If you don't feel
I don't have the Bluebird. The boys know that. They take care of all of that stuff. That's at my land. So.
Okay. I was shocked that you had an IG. And I'm only saying that because it is on the Jobbateers Instagram page. So, if it was something that wasn't out there, it is there. So welcome.
Thank you guys for having me. This is so dope. I'm excited to talk and all that jazz with you guys. So tgive you for having me.
Of course. Co-owner of Battle Club Pro.
Okay.
Let's give a round of applause for that.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
Thank you.
Let's start there. How did that happen?
Yeah.
I wish I knew. Jobberson 1 happened, and of course, majority owner Joaquin Morales, who you guys had on previously. So shout out to him. Shout out to Battle Club and Fallout Shelter. He maybe a week before the show, he said, "I got to talk to you about something, but wait until after the show." And I was like, "Okay, cool. We're worrying about 80,000 other things.
Yeah.
Whatever you want to talk about, we can talk about it after." Mm-hmm. So that was maybe a week before the show. Then when we opened the show,
this was the show in October, right?
This was the show. This was Jobberson, so this is back in July of last year.
Okay.
So that's when we opened the show. We're all in the ring, and then Joaquin goes back and say, "Remember, I told you I had to tell you something, or I wanted to ask you?" And I was like, "Yeah, you said after the show." I'm confused and looking stupid because I'm like, "What are you talking about?" And then he asks me the question. He's like, "Who has been able to make so much noise in New York and be Afro-Latina and have a podcast and have all these things?" So then he asked me to be co-owner, and I was just like that's not what we talked about. We weren't talking about that. But
so you didn't know.
No idea, no clue. That was not a work.
Yeah.
I can't act, so no. He asked, so yeah, he asked me himself. So
Nice.
it was a shock, but it's just like I didn't need the. It's never been about the title for me. It's just we've always been on this family relationship with Battle Club Pro from from our beginning of the podcast. So it was just second nature to always be like, okay, what do you need? Like, how do we do this? Like, so and then be able to put on our own first show, like
Incredible.
never thought that would have happened. Especially
Incredible.
with the pandemic and stuff like that. So that was always going to be a challenge after the fact. But like so many people came out. So many people drove up from the Carolinas. We had a few like I had
Except
another
V.
friend that flew in.
All right, Mike.
Except V. But yeah. I'm sorry, go ahead.
But everybody showed out, and it was so much love. Like it just was a vibe. That's all. I was sitting in the corner. I was at the table up front, and I
Mm-hmm.
was sitting there, and I was just like, when Prolific came out, I started like crying. I was like, oh my god,
Yeah.
like everybody there, we're all personally like we have a relationship with, we know, we talk to, and things like that. So it just meant so much more to do what we did with everybody that that wanted to do it with us. So
That's awesome. And speaking for myself and V, like just to be just even a small part of it, like being a sponsor of the show, like I appreciate it, and it meant a lot to me. I know it means a lot to V also. Like he's here in spirit always. So it meant a lot to me to see this all come together because you guys actually, I think you announced it. We're going backwards a little bit, but like it was like maybe May. I think the first show that Battle Club did back in Jersey, I think that's where the announcement was made for Jabba
that was
Sam.
the redo.
Okay.
That was the redo. So yeah, so we had announced it. The original one was supposed to be 4th of July weekend 2020. So that was the original plan. And we made the very first announcement. It was the first Battle Club Pro show the week of January 2020. So this is before like who's
Everything.
wearing a mask or what,
Yeah.
for any of that. So we had made the announcement of Jabba Sam then, and then the pandemic hit. So then we had to put pause on everything, literally everything. And then, just focus on everybody just being good. And then when the ball started rolling again, we're like, okay,
Yeah.
now let's press play. Let's do this and let's do this right. So that's
Nice,
how that
nice.
came about.
Okay. I don't want to hog all of the questions. Go ahead, V.
So, how does it feel to be a Black woman and Afro Latina? I was really happy when you said that. How does it feel being a Black woman in a high position? How does that feel on a day-to-day basis?
It's surreal, because even when like sometimes I go to the school, just to go, chop it up with him, make sure Joaquin's good, and see, some of the kids, even though they grown people, they still kids to us.
Yeah.
And go say hi to them, and they're like, "Oh, boss lady." I'm like, "Oh my god!" Like I'm just me. I'm just here to say hi. Because I think for the most part, everybody already respected me from the podcast, and it just being like, okay, like she's not taking no for an answer. Like I blessed to be in certain conversations with people and be able to have those type of relationships with professional wrestlers. That part of it is dope, and just kind of creating a family kind of setting for all of us to have each other through the good and the bad. But day to day, I try not to let it get to me, because sometimes it's gotten to like
Yeah.
but I've been used to always being in the boys club, like that's just me, been growing up like that, like, so I wasn't, I never felt like I was outed. I never felt different. I think just on the level for like for me, it's just like as long as I respect, you respect me, I respect you, and we can work together. Because that's always my ultimate goal, is to put people on. Like I want to be able to step away in 5 years and be like, okay, this is in good hands. Everybody's good. I can bow out gracefully kind of thing. Like, like that's always been, the goal was to just get everybody be put on no matter what it could be, whether it's a AEW dark match or doing a tryout for Impact, like whatever it is. Just go, do us proud, and that's that. But it's weird sometimes when people say it, I'm just like, oh yeah, that is a thing.
Yeah.
Like
It's a big thing.
Okay. Everybody, I don't know. It's just for me, it's just like the title is what it is, but he's always had, us as a partner. He's always had us be supportive in, Battle Club Pro from the beginnings of like our podcast. So I was just like, it was a no brainer to always work with him. Like he actually was the reason why I thought about sponsoring other shows and doing that got us to different areas and different, connections in different areas in the country, just doing that stuff. Like I went 3 weeks ago, I was in Dallas for a weekend.
Yep.
Because we were the primary sponsor of the match that happened out there. And I was like, okay, I'll go chop it up. And it was, for Black History Month, it was all black show. So,
nice.
But those are the kind of things. But day to day, I'm still just little old me.
So modest. So modest. So let's go back a little bit. Were you always a wrestling fan when you was like young?
Yeah. Like I was sneaking watching ECW at like 6 years old at 2:00 in the morning with it mute.
Yeah.
So that's why, I can watch wrestling mute because that's how I grew up watching it in the beginning. Because I wasn't supposed to be up, so I had to mute. I had to keep the TV mute. But then I was watching Taz and Sabu and RVD and just obnoxious. And then I joined the WCW bandwagon. So like, of course, that whole NWO spiel, and I watched all of that stuff. Because Macho Man's my favorite wrestler of all time.
Oh yeah.
So wherever Macho went, I went.
Yeah.
So yeah, I got to WWE last. Actually, like it just like it came last, and it's been around, And then, but yeah, I've always been a wrestling fan. Like it just was always, I think, growing up for all of us, and I think we all can attest to that. That it was like taboo. Like we couldn't talk about it. We didn't have other people that that like the same thing you like. It just was like a forbidden door, literally, for us as kids.
Yeah.
So
full circle.
Being right now, fully now being an adult.
Yeah.
But having other adults that I know love and are in the business, like it's just, I would have never thought like, oh, I'm gonna have such a big group of people that I look up to, that I ask questions to, that I help. Like,
yeah,
I just wanted to be a wrestling fan.
Nice.
So
awesome. With you being a wrestling fan, I know a lot of us as wrestling fans go through that phase when we want to get into the ring. Did you ever have those aspirations?
Your girl is never taking a bump. Anyone that knows me knows that I don't know. Never.
I don't know. Tasha gets in your face. You know what I mean?
Crazy though. That's sis though. She's not
gonna
do that to me. But what's crazy is that's like the most asked question I think the last year and a half. Is everybody's like, so when you're gonna get in the? No, I don't want to get in the ring. I don't even like getting in the ring to talk, let alone take a bump. Like
it's not easy.
That's not my place. And honestly, I'm always been like a behind the scenes kind of girl, so that's why I've been blessed to do commentary. Now I'm able to book matches and shows and things. So like that kind of stuff is what I like to do, and I stick to what I'm good at. Because your girl ain't taking a bump. No, the boys will. Like Wilkins, he goes to a wrestling school.
Okay.
Here in New York, and then Mr. Black soon he has aspirations of being a referee.
Okay. All right.
So we'll see where this journey goes, but they're the risk takers. I'm not.
Wasn't Wilkins, and we'll talk about Sir Wilkins for those that's listening or watching from the Jobber Tears podcast. Same thing, Mr. Black, Jobber Tears podcast. So Sir Wilkins was supposed to have a match at Jobber Slam, right?
Yes. So he was supposed to have a match with Simon Miller of What Culture.
Yes.
And he's based out in the UK, but once again, because of COVID restrictions, we couldn't get him to the States.
Gotcha.
So that's why he didn't. Yeah, so he was always
I
like,
would have loved to see
like, you never know what can happen for the second one.
that. Okay. Stay tuned.
But no, yeah, he just because he couldn't get into the States, so that's why that he didn't end up getting to wrestle at Job Wrestling. That's the first one. We were kind of bummed about it because we really wanted. I want him to have that moment because like he had when he started. It's a funny story, real quick.
Yeah.
He I forgot where we were coming from. We were like, I think coming from recording. And he was just like, yeah, I think I want to go to wrestling school, just randomly.
Mm-hmm.
And I said, okay, when, like, do you know, like, what's your game plan? Like, so he's like, I'm going to look into it, but because he likes to always suck his damn teeth when he talks. And then he goes, and he's like, I'm going to do it for like a year, have a match, and then never do it again. And I was just like, no, you're not. Like,
all right, raise hell, leave.
What are you talking about? Fast forward, like, what, now it's almost like 2 years almost he's been at training school. He's ever at wrestling school.
Mm-hmm.
He's had matches at school and stuff like that. Like, they have, like, exhibitions and stuff. But, bro, you're not stopping in a year. Like, cut it out.
Yeah. I mean, I think that's dope. He had an idea. He had a dream. He said, all right, I'm going to go for it. All right.
And he's always been, he was like that with the podcast. If he didn't want to do it, if he didn't want to start a podcast, there would be no Java Tears podcast.
I was just about to ask. So how did that all come together? And how did y'all meet? Like, walk us through how did all of that happen there?
So just background, Sir Wilkins and Mr. Black, they're actual brothers. Like, people sometimes question that.
Oh wow.
They are actual brothers. Like they're like 2 years apart. Because they're brothers. So I'm coming in the middle of the both of them because I've known Wilkins from the viewing parties from when he started them almost now 10 years ago.
Yes.
So I met him at my like very first viewing party, and we were kind of like this since then. And so he's my best friend. So that's how that goes. So previously me and him were in a different podcast before we started doing the Java Tales podcast.
Mm-hmm.
And that podcast, he kind of like that was what he wanted. He wanted to do a wrestling podcast, and then had the audacity to put on Facebook, y'all. Oh, is there any females that want to talk about wrestling? Didn't even ask me.
Oh, the nerve of that guy.
So I called him, cussing him out.
Yeah.
Like, what do you mean? I could do it. He's like, well, because he's always been like, I don't want to burden you, Janelle. Like, I don't want it to be too much for you. And I'm just like, for me, it's like, you're my best friend. If this is your dream that you want to do, let's do it. Like, I'm game.
Yeah.
So we did the previous podcast for a bit, for almost about a year, and then created differences. Everybody goes, outgrows people. It happens. It's life.
Mm-hmm.
But before that all went down, his Mr. Black had did an episode with us, subbing for the other person we were doing the podcast with because he was away on vacation or something.
Okay.
And so we actually kind of did a pilot test without knowing that episode, where I was used to going back and forth with Wilkins, but then now I wasn't. I was in the middle, and they were going at each other. So that was the test run.
Okay.
So then creative differences flow, and then me and him decided we're gonna, start our own thing, brand new, fresh.
Mm-hmm.
And then it just made sense for his brother to join. So we did our first pilot episode, episode 0.
Yeah.
On Sir Wilkins' birthday, almost 3.5 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
So we did that. We were like, all right, let's see how it goes, and the first year was rough.
Yeah.
Rough. I tell y'all, rough.
It happens.
Yeah. Just even down to just audio, visual, it was it was grassroots, I tell y'all that.
We've been there.
Yeah.
And then, he was still doing the viewing parties, but now it's under the Java Tears podcast. So then, we really started focusing on, just cultivating everybody coming out for the viewing parties, but then also associating it with the podcast. So we were just growing and growing and just honestly just staying true to ourselves. Like there's like anybody that knows us knows like who we were then, we're the same, just a little bit of growth, but we've always been true to ourselves and we've always had each other's backs, even though at times we would argue and fight and fight and fight.
All families do.
Yeah.
And I think now we're in such a good sweet spot where like we know each other's strengths, we know each other's weaknesses, we know who likes what, we know who's able to do what, who's going to be the talker, like we now have that establishment of ourselves and also expectation of ourselves to always just push one another. And I think, with Wilkins and all the projects he has going on, from the wrestling school to the complex deal, those things. And,
Congratulations to the complex deal.
Huge. That was
okay.
huge.
Yeah.
Need more of those.
Mm-hmm.
And then, and then of course, Mr. Black, him coming out of his own shell, his own, having his own show on the network and things like that. And then, with me, it was just more or less kind of like Battle Club, just kind of like open the doors, not only for me, but for the podcast and for all of us as a group.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's the kind of beginnings and the currents of us, and that we're in a good spot where we're like we still haven't lost fun in recording. That was always my fear. Was like we get tired not only of each other but of recording.
It's not easy.
But I tell people all the time, it is the longest relationship I've had in like 5 years. Okay.
I feel you.
Lord.
All right. We want to be mindful of your time as well. So
yeah, we do.
Yeah, go ahead.
Just a couple more questions. For my question to you is, what do you want to see in the future of wrestling? Whether it's independent, whether it's mainstream, professional. What do you want to see in the future?
I want to see, not only fans, but also those behind the scenes to understand change is good in wrestling. I want it to be where if it's a black champion, it's normal. It's not, like the 8th person to win that. No, this person has his own accolades and legacies. Let's acknowledge that. I just want to see everybody win. I think that's just always been my thing. Is like, it stopped being about us our first year after we did the podcast. Our first 100 episodes. After that, it just was like, nah, we've got so many people, that have come to us saying like, you guys, are inspiration. You guys, are so dope. And it's just like, you're just as dope as us. Because whatever we're doing, I already know you guys are trying to do something bigger and better. So, but I would just love to see that change is accepted more, and that those that don't have opportunities, they create opportunities for themselves. And I think that's important. That's a survival tip. I think in wrestling is like what they not gonna give you, you're gonna have to figure out a way to create it.
Yeah, definitely. Wow. Okay. I want to get into your brain a little bit here. Okay. What is your favorite match of all time?
I have one of those,
Or I mean, if you have a few, you can
Okay, a few. So off the top of my head, it's gonna be Kane and Undertaker WrestleMania 14.
Okay.
It's more of the build up. It's the complete package of what a program is in wrestling, or what it should be. That one. Any Macho Man match.
Okay. That's fair.
Doesn't matter.
That's fair.
I'm trying to think of the ones out there for. Bianca and Sasha. I'm sorry.
Take over Brooklyn, right?
um,
No, Bianca and Sasha. You said, oh, okay. Bianca and Sasha, WrestleMania.
Sasha at
Bianca.
Mania.
Oh,
Oh,
okay,
yes,
okay,
yes.
WrestleMania. Yeah. I, my brain like switched to Bailey for some reason, but yeah,
No, it's okay. I mean, I was there for Takeover 1 too. So that
yeah.
um, any Taker last 6 years of Taker.
Okay.
Uh,
You gave us some good ones. Gave us some good
oh,
ones.
Triple H and Cactus Jack.
Oh.
Oh, yes.
Mm-hmm.
Um,
You was there for that one?
no, I wish.
Oh man, yeah, that would have been crazy. Madison Square Garden street fight.
Yeah, no, I was at actually my first WWE pay-per-view was actually the first ever Elimination Chamber at Survivor Series 02.
Oh wow.
That was
Okay.
at the Garden.
The
That was
Garden.
the one HBK won
Mm-hmm.
and became world champion again. So
What a show to
that's
be
pretty
at.
dope.
Yeah.
Yeah, all the pay. Yeah, you know, I've seen Money in the Bank. That was pretty dope. Yeah, matches is hard. Like
It is. It is. It definitely is because I think every match has something different. So you might like the storytelling in this match more. You might like the selling in this match. You
Sure.
might like the high spots in this match. Like every match is different. So that's good though. You have a wide variety of matches that you enjoy. So that is good. V.
So you mentioned Macho Man. So I know he's going to be on here, but who is your Mount Rushmore of wrestling?
Wow.
How many is on the Mount Rushmore? So 4
4.
or 5?
4.
4?
Yeah.
Oh God, it's so hard. I mean, Macho's already won.
Yeah.
Taker.
Okay.
Trips.
Okay.
Can I split half of a head? Like
Yeah, it's your
Sure.
It's your Mount Rushmore. Go
okay,
ahead.
I was like, wait, can I get a half and a half? Ric Flair.
Okay.
And the ear of it, like the side ear, would be Loki Owen Hart.
Oh, okay. All right. Yeah.
Yes.
Because I like different wrestlers for different styles. So I love technical wrestling. So that's my jam. And then you get the big guys, and it's just I love that too. And then the grapplers, there's all different styles of wrestling. So
Versatile.
Nice. Okay, there's a couple of events coming up that I'm sure that you and the rest of the Jabba podcast is going to be involved in. There's Women Crush Wednesday coming up soon for Battle Club.
Yes,
right?
420.
420. I will be there.
420.
I will definitely be there.
So no,
Slide up there.
we're gonna finalizing the card, and then we're gonna put out the graphic within the next week. I would say, for Women Crush Wednesday, but it'll be Wednesday, April the 20th. So hopefully tickets will be on sale before or by the end of this month.
Okay.
So we're just trying to finalize some things and stuff.
And guys, because I was at the first Women Crush Wednesday, that was in Brooklyn. It was actually 2019. 2019.
Yeah, no, it was Mania Week.
Yeah, Mania Week. And so just to get a little taste of what type of talent they had on this show. I mean, I'm just looking at this list. The first one, legit Layla Hirsch was on the show. You had Savannah Evans versus Kiera Hogan. Both talented women. Kiera's a good friend, so always like seeing her do well.
Any only Hogan we acknowledge?
Well, yeah, there's that too. Indy Hartwell was also on that show. Tasha Steeles was on the show. Diamante was there. This is crazy. Sue Young was on the show.
Yeah.
At the time, her name was Ariel, but you might know her as Big Swole. Big Swole was on the show. Thunder Rosa was there. I mean, so many great, talented women on this show.
You know what's crazy? So we were talking about actually that same night earlier, actually on the podcast earlier when we recorded. So that same show, William Regal was there. and he was
Wow.
scouting at the show.
How did I
So
misread?
we were standing in the back, like Kiki
Yeah.
Ken, like how we always do.
Mhm.
And there was like a group of people that came, like kind of like rushed in, but came in.
Yeah.
And I said, that's William Regal. What is he doing?
Yeah.
And then kind of found out he was scouting.
That's amazing.
So, because
I,
I think right after that, I think Tasha might have had the tryout,
okay.
because he
All
was
right.
definitely looking at her at that show.
And I'll tell you this much. Tasha looked like the star at the end of that whole show. And that's not a knock or slight on any other of the talent that was there. But I mean, Tasha beats Diamante earlier in the night. And then she beats, if I remember correctly, let me see, she wins the Icons Championship against Harlow O'Hara in the main event after Kylie Ray lost her Icons Championship. It was a lot going on that night. So, and Tasha, and I'm going to be honest, back in 2019, I wasn't that familiar with Tasha's work. This was like one of the first times I actually got to see her work. But just off of that alone, I was like, who is this? Like, I need to see more of her. And she wins the Icons Championship, and now congratulations to Tasha Steelz, who is the
Yeah, and
current Knockouts champion.
I messaged her immediately. I said, I am so proud of you. Like, that's really what it's about. It's about those moments where you're like, it got to a point where, at first when you meet, such and such, you don't have that type of relationship or rapport with them.
Mm-hmm.
But like when I tell you, like I can sit and I can have brunch with Swole or with Shane Taylor, like like hang out and kiki it up with with other, like those are just the moments that matter the most, because they're like, outside of this wrestling shit, like we cool.
Yeah. No, that's what's up. And I
I'm
think
so
people have
proud
to
of her.
realize I am too. And people got to understand they're human beings as well. Okay. And that, like, let's make that perfectly clear.
Yeah.
They are human beings as well. Okay. They have families, they have feelings, they have, let's keep it respectful. Okay. Because I see, does the stuff on social media bother you? Like when you see like what's going on with like Swole, after she left
Oh
AEW
yeah,
and
no,
everything?
AEW went on my timeout list after that.
Okay.
As
All
it
right.
should.
Okay. So you're not
Because
watching AEW now, or
no, I'll watch, but I will not spend a dollar on a Tony Khan show live and in color
okay.
until I feel differently than how I feel right now. And it became bigger than Swole after a while, because it's just like, you guys are missing the bigger picture. There are tons of girls in the back that don't get TV time, that don't get the acknowledgement, that don't get the matches on national, on TNT, on TBS, or any of that. They don't do that. And a part of it is because the person that books doesn't necessarily like storytelling or doesn't necessarily like certain things. And the person that's supposed to be heading the women's division is now injured and hasn't been on TV.
Yeah.
So it's unfortunate, but yeah, no, they on a timeout with me with that, because that was just, and it became like, it was upsetting me because I know Ariel, you know what I mean? Like I don't, y'all know that Swole shit, and that's cool. Like I've broken bread with this woman. Like I can call her right now on my phone and be like, hey sis, kind of thing.
Yeah.
And so it started getting personal, because it was just like, you guys don't understand. You're listening to defend instead of listening to comprehend. And that was always my issue with any comment that was negative towards her. It was just like, but you're not hearing her, because then guess what? Then a few weeks later, because she just said the same thing.
Yeah, she just said the same thing.
But y'all don't want to give her that same smoke.
Yeah. It sucks. Like, even just because hanging out with Swole at Jobber Slam over the summer, like, she's one of the coolest people you could ever meet. Like, honestly, like one of the coolest people ever. So AEW and Tony Khan, that, I don't know. Like, and everything she said was right. And now everybody's seeing that everything she said was right. So
I've been saying that for me.
Yeah.
And it's not even so much that it was right, though. It was just the fact that was her experience.
Yeah.
So it became to me bigger than, oh, she got let go. No, it was just, a black woman was able to speak her experience, and you guys met it with disrespect.
Mm-hmm.
So how can we continue to want change and want better when all of y'all responding the same way?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Not seeing the bigger picture. That was my thing. It was like it wasn't even her experience is her experience. I can't tell her no or yes or indifferent to that.
Right.
But if I meet it with no, you're wrong and that's not right, and you're not respecting my experience. Therefore, you're not respecting me. So yeah, no, they got to get it together.
Yep. Well, you guys got it together. I tell you that much. Jabba Tears podcast, Battle Club Pro, a lot coming up. This is your time to promote everything that you have, unless you have anything else to ask before we get V.
No,
You good?
no.
Okay. All right. So Janelle, yes, everything that you got coming up. There's a Juneteenth show coming as well, right? I think Pretty
Yes.
Heels podcast is doing that. So everything.
So once again, April 20th, Battle Club Pro presents Women Crush Wednesday 2. So for more information, you can always follow Battle Club Pro on all social media platforms. Outside of that, in Juneteenth weekend, not only will want everybody to go on Billy Dixon's Instagram and make sure to support him. He has a 2-day show for Gay Pride weekend, which is the same weekend as Juneteenth here in New York. So make sure to look out for Billy's shows. I believe it's going to be that Friday and Saturday of Juneteenth weekend. And then on the 18th and 19th of June, which is Juneteenth weekend again, Pretty Heels is doing like a big wrestling convention where day one would be filled with panels, game shows, video gaming, networking, all the above.
Nice.
And then day two on actual Juneteenth, June 19th, Battle Club Pro will be presenting Black Wrestle Fest's wrestling presentation per se. So we're working together once again. Shout out to Pretty Heels. Shout out to Danny of Pretty Heels as well. To making sure that the show reflects what the convention's purpose is. So for more information, you can go on Pretty Heels on Instagram, or they do have a website as well. I think it's like wrestlefest.com.
Yep.
But you can also, once again, hit up anyone. You can hit up me for more information if you need, and I'll get you to the appropriate people. And then I don't have the exact date, but August 2022 Jabba Slam 2 will be happening.
Yes. Yep.
We're looking at 2 dates. We just have to figure out if it conflicts with either Impact or MLW. So we're just trying to make sure we cross our T's and dot our I's. But it will be August 2022 Jabba Sam 2. So stay tuned for more information. We just had a really dope get together. We got a theme that I think everybody's gonna love. I'm not gonna release the theme yet.
You
thought you was gonna
this close. Yeah, it was this close. I was waiting.
It's just gonna be dope.
Okay.
Like if last year it was any type of like everybody talking.
Yeah.
We're gonna turn this into an actual like party. So
nice.
So once again, Java Slam to August 2022. And then October 2022 will be Battle Club Pro's anniversary show. So stay tuned for that.
Okay.
Other than that, that's it. Once again, the boys will have the WrestleMania viewing party here in New York. So if you're in the tri-state area, you can come out at Legends. They're gonna do it both days, night 1 and night 2. If anybody's going to Dallas, you can always come holler at me. Story T Lines and Jabba Tears Podcast will have a vendor's table at GCW's 3-day fair. Okay. WrestleMania weekend. So just make sure to look on our social medias to find out where. But yeah, other than that, that's it.
You have a full year coming up here. That's that's awesome. That's awesome. Well, thank you so much for being on Go for the Pin.
Thank you guys.
I'm
we
sure
can do it again.
We can talk to you for hours, but we're gonna let you go here. And feel free to come on. You're always welcome on the show. If we're live, you could just if you see us, just all right, we're just gonna go in. Yeah.
I'm here.
I keep that in mind.
Definitely. Always welcome. And give Joe my best. I will see you guys definitely April 20th. We'll talk. And yeah, thanks a lot.
All right. All right. Well, thank you guys so much for having me. I truly appreciate it. You guys are always a part of the Java Tears Podcast fam. So anything you guys need, always feel free to let us know.
Thank
But
you.
And hopefully we'll be able to come down to Charlotte and come kiki. So
Okay.
I wish I'd have known that before. We always went down there. We was just we was in Winston-Salem back Thanksgiving weekend for Russell Cade. So we was down there for like a whole weekend, and it was all three of us. So when you can get all three of us in one place outside of New York, that's dope, and it's rare. So
yeah.
But thank you guys so much for having me. It was fun.
Thank you,
ladies and gentlemen.
We really, really appreciate you.
No
Definitely.
problem.
Everybody, Janelle from HR. Thanks again. Yes.
Thank you.
Battle Club. Janelle, feel free to, if whenever you can just sign off. We're gonna talk a little AEW and then get up out of here.
Oh, go ahead, guys. We'll have fun.
Yeah. Thanks a lot.
Bye.
All right. Be safe. Wow.
Ooh.
What a guess. What a guess. Janelle from HR. Battle Club Pro, co-owner. That is her. That is her. What a great guess. On V's birthday, nonetheless, here.
Of course,
Yeah. Okay. Let's don't know how we can even follow that, but we're gonna try.
Fuck it. Bye, y'all.
We're gonna try. We're gonna try.
We're just talking about AEW, I guess.
As we record this, full transparency, right? It's V's birthday, right? So we're not here. But we did get to see. Yeah, big 3-0. We're getting old here. Oh, God. Getting old here.
You next.
Don't remind me. Don't remind me. I'm trying to savor these last few weeks.
Okay. Just get a knee brace.
Okay, if you say so.
No, but let's talk about AEW.
AEW Dynamite was this week as we record this. Friday Night SmackDown hasn't aired yet. Impact has probably just aired, and Monday Night Raw. Monday Night Raw has not aired yet. So all we can do is talk about Dynamite. Let's run through it quickly. So the show opened up with a heel turn.
Sure.
Chris Jericho. Okay.
Yeah.
Chris Jericho comes out and he wants to shake hands with Eddie Kingston. Or so we thought. Eddie Kingston comes out, they shake hands. This leads to 2.0 coming out there. Mm-hmm. And then this also leads to a beatdown of sorts. Santana and Ortiz come running out for the save. And Jericho turns on Santana and Ortiz. And then Big Hurt, Jake Hager comes out, and he's conflicted for a little bit. But in the end, he takes out Santana and Ortiz. The Inner Circle is officially done. And now we have a new faction. I think it's Jericho Association or Jericho Appreciation Stable or whatever.
I don't like that name, but sure.
Yeah.
It's that. But yeah. But Eddie Kingston, man. Shutting down the what chance?
I was so happy he did that. Happy he did that.
Shutting down the what chance? It was needed. Yeah. Like, I get it. You know, Stone Cold had previously come back or whatever. And, you know, what chance are technically WWE's type thing?
But everybody does them now.
Yeah, everybody does do them now. But don't bring that over here. And you know, Eddie Kingston worked so hard. It's just, it's annoying after a while because a lot of wrestling fans do the what chance at the most irritating times.
Yeah.
It's not always necessary.
And I like that Kingston said, all right, come on, show some respect. Steve Austin ain't here. Like, I'm trying to cut a promo here. But yeah. And I liked it. I like this whole angle. The name sucks, but this was a hot angle to start off Dynamite. I mean, wow. I have no problem with this. I thought everything was great here. Everything was solid. Eddie Kingston takes the bat to the face. Yeah, crazy start. Okay, and then out of nowhere we get a world title match.
Yeah, I was
Like, huh?
I was like, wait, what?
When Justin Roberts said the following contest is scheduled for one fall and it's for the AEW World Championship, I said, whoa. What AEW World Championship? Which one?
Like, how did we get here? Like, what the fuck? Whoa, I was confused.
Yeah, I was very confused.
But it
happened, and I mean nobody thought Dante Martin was gonna win the championship, but he got us some offense. It was okay. It was a solid effort. Paige in the end, buckshot Larry, 1, 2, 3. They shake hands after the match. Adam Cole comes out there and basically says that he's not done with Adam Page, so the Adams are fighting again. And
the Adams are fighting.
The Adams are fighting. We're getting a 6-man tag next week. It will be Adam Cole, baby, and we found out later on that Red Dragon will be accompanying him, and it will be Page teaming up with not Dark Order because they was upset that they weren't teaming with him, which could lead to something. That could lead to something. But no, he's teaming with Jurassic Express, the tag team champions, who also had a tag team title match tonight.
Yeah. The titles were on the line.
Oh yeah. Let's just go to it. Jurassic Express versus the Acclaimed. At one point, they had me worked for a second there. I think when they did the spot where Luchasaurus had the boombox hit into his face, and then I think the Acclaim hit their finish. Caster hit his mic drop onto Jungle Boy. Thought that was it, but no, false finish, pal. Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus retain. Still your tag team champions. What'd you think about this? I thought it was good.
It was a good match, despite how I feel about one member of the Acclaimed. It was a really good match, and I have nothing bad to say about it. They did also work me with the mic drop. I was like, oh, finally?
Yeah.
I mean, I do like Jungle Boy and Luchasaurus tethering. I mean, King V personally is ready for it to be done.
Didn't they just win the titles?
I mean, they could just lose it, but it's not a slight against them because the girls love to fight. It's not a slight against them. Both very talented wrestlers. However, come space. I think Jungle Boy should be a single star.
Personally. Okay, I can see that.
I do think it's time for that. But
I can see that.
Other than that, it was a great match.
Yeah, very solid. I mean, a lot of solid stuff here. Jay Cargill asked who's gonna get the kiss of death on Rampage. So I guess we'll see what happens with that.
I volunteers tribute.
What's that again?
I said I volunteers tribute. She beat me up. It's fine.
Okay.
Okay. I'm good.
I'm doing this off of memory. Pac had a match against Wheeler Yuta. It was pretty much a enhancement match for Pac. I'm trying to think what else happened on the show here. Before we get to it. Okay, are we at the Regal segment here now? I think we're at the William Regal segment.
Let's do the Regal segment, and there was something else that happened. But we'll
there was a lot that happened. There's some things that happened in the main event also. But all right. So Moxley and Bryan had a tag team match. I don't even remember who they faced. I think they faced JD Drake and some enhancement talent. Sorry.
Oh God, I just remember. Oh God, I had their names in my head.
It was JD Drake. I don't remember the other person.
Okay, the Workhorsemen.
Workhorsemen. Yes, they faced the Workhorsemen.
Yeah.
Kind of funny name, but you knew they was out there to just do the job. Well, okay. Bryan wins with the LeBell lock. Regal cuts this very heartfelt promo. It seems like he went over time. Because Tony Schiavone was actually checking his watch in the background because, like, I'm pretty sure he was like, something here.
He also apologized for it.
He did, which is very classy of him. Regal's a very classy gentleman, so of course he's gonna apologize for that.
I'm sorry.
You had to. You had to.
Sorry, I had to. All right, I'm good. Go ahead.
Yeah, Regal basically talked about how Tony Schiavone helped him when he first came to the States. 29 years ago, our age. Um, so that was really cool. He talked about the fact that he's known Brian for 20 years and that basically he told the rest of the locker room to either step up or get stepped on. And I thought that was great. And that was how the promo ended. What did you think about this, V?
Man, it's. I think William Regal in AEW is gonna be nothing but good for them. Hopefully,
Yeah.
I hope they don't fuck this up. I truly hope they don't fuck this up because Regal has such a mind for the business. You know, he's legendary. Everybody likes him.
Yeah.
You can barely find somebody that has him. That's not William Regal.
Yeah.
He's knowledgeable. He. We just love William Regal over here, honestly, and I think it was a good promo. It was very heartfelt. He caught himself. There's a couple of times where it's broke, and then he caught himself. So
yeah,
this is a new beginning for him.
And I'm very happy for him, and I think this is a great start to his AEW career here.
Mm-hmm.
So if that wasn't enough, then we had a Hardy family office meeting.
Here it is.
Okay. We're in the ring. We had Private Party. We got Blade and Butcher. We got Andrade and his manager. And of course Matt Hardy. Okay, so Matt Hardy says, well, of course my boy's Private Party isn't gonna turn on me. Red herring. So they did this whole thing where it's like thumbs up if you want Matt Hardy kicked out of the HFO. And at first, Private Party put their thumbs up, right? Of course, Andrade and his manager put their thumbs down. And then those thumbs up from Private Party, a la Batista.
Yep, I was like they really referenced
turned down. Wow.
Mm-hmm.
We knew it was coming, but it was good how they did it.
Yeah.
Matt Hardy's getting the crap beat out of him. I mean, like, pillar to post. Darby and Sting come for the save, but they get overwhelmed. Yeah. Okay. Because at this point, I think it was like 6-on-4 still or something like that. And then the music hit.
Yeah.
Huh?
Yeah. I mean, we saw it coming, but I just didn't know when it was going to happen. And Jeff Hardy is all elite. He's still while Matt is getting his ass beat the fuck up.
Matt is getting all kind of hands and feet put on him, and Jeff still has enough time.
Just let you know, Mike, if you ever try that shit with me, I'm whooping your ass next.
Listen, he got there and helped him. He helped him. He just had to get his little.
It just reminded me of when Bianca was getting her ass beat. It really
with Rhea. She
did her full interest. It's time for you to do that damn stomp. Bring your ass and help.
I love that. That was actually hilarious.
No,
her whole interest, the music, and it.
Wait, what? You have to know.
I loved it. I loved it. I love that. And I love Hardy. Everybody's critical. Oh, Matt's getting. Guys, it's wrestling. So, yeah, Jeff's going to.
It was funny. I'm sitting there like, damn.
It's hilarious.
Imagine you getting jumped and running, and then they, like, got a tie up. Fuck all of that.
Yeah.
Oh, you need help? Yes, nigga, I do.
Help me. Please help me. Yo, Matt's getting the dog shit beat out of him. Just taking a sweet time. They put all kind of hands on feet on that man.
But Jeff Hardy is now all elite.
All elite. Jeff Hardy at 43 years old, 44 years old, still hitting the swan time like it was, 1999. I mean, amazing. I had no problem with this either. I'm liking a lot of the stuff that happened with this show. The
show was pretty good. I'm not
actually.
When it's good, it's good.
Yeah. I'm trying to think. Okay, so after that, we did have we had a women's eliminator match. Thunder Rosa versus legit Layla Hirsch. Okay. I'm gonna be that guy.
Okay.
Why did Thunder Rosa get another opportunity at the title? She just lost to Britt Baker this past Sunday. I understand Layla being in the match. She won her match.
Mm-hmm.
She won her match.
She did.
I can understand her being there. Why was Thunder Rosa given another opportunity at the title? I thought once you lose in a championship match, you go to the back of the line. That's not what happened. But I like Thunder Rosa, so I'll give it a pass, I guess. I was just asking a question as to why that happened.
Yeah. I mean, I don't disagree. I don't agree. I don't disagree with the question.
And then also the match. Look, even JR had to point out Thunder Rosa must be really tired. You know, the match was okay. It was okay. Yeah. But you could tell Thunder Rosa was tired. Sure. But this leads me to believe they're doing this match again. It's a steel cage match. It's in San Antonio. I tried to tell everybody last week or 2 weeks ago, as you hear this, that Britt Baker kind of has to win because she looks so weak on the Go Home show to Revolution. I'm going on record saying right now, tomorrow night, Thunder Rosa wins the AEW Women's Championship inside the steel cage in her hometown of San Antonio, Texas.
Pero mi pregunta es, why have the match at this pay-per-view or have a clean finish? Let me phrase, well, not technically a clean finish, but why have the finish that we had at the pay-per-view and then do it all over again to have Thunder Rosa win?
To get to the steel cage match.
But if that was the case, they should have did a disqualification at the pay-per-view and then, have the rematch. I think this is what Janelle was talking about with the booking, right? This is my problem. I said this maybe a week ago, a couple weeks ago, what have you, about AEW booking, especially when it comes to women's division. Yeah. It's like it's all over the place. If you were going to build to the steel cage match, okay, Britt and Thunder Rosa at the pay-per-view, end that in a DQ or whatever. Thunder Rosa gets pissed, whatever. They go at it. All right, boom. Next match, those two are banned from the ring. Steel cage match. Boom. Easy. It made no sense for, Thunder Rosa to win on Rampage and then lose at the pay-per-view clean, technically, and then have it lead to another match where she has to qualify for it. That doesn't make sense.
Okay.
To me.
Okay.
For me here, it doesn't make sense to me.
I can see your point. I definitely can see your point on that. Yeah, I don't have an opposing theory on that. I think the main reason is, the main reason Britt won on pay-per-view was to get her a win on pay-per-view. I think that's really what it was. To Tony knew that they was gonna have this big St. Patrick's Day smash or whatever they're calling it show next week. Well, tomorrow as we record this. Yeah. So I think he knew that he needed something for that show. So that's probably why they did it that way. But I definitely see your point on like how you would have booked the whole thing. But nonetheless, I think Thunder Rosa wins the title. So
I mean, yeah, hopefully, please, please, and
yeah, I think it's gonna happen.
Speaking of things that were ended, what's another match that we got to see?
Oh, okay. Well, in the main event, we had Sammy Guevara defending his TNT. Defending his TNT championship against Scorpio Sky of American Top Team. This was a really solid match. Sammy, Scorpio, you knew he was gonna get a solid match with these two. Sammy was selling his ribs from this past weekend, which made sense, and it also made sense that MJF and CM Punk. I'm saying this past weekend. I'm sorry, guys. We're recording it the same week. Full transparency. What I meant was at the Revolution pay-per-view. MJF and CM Punk were not on the show to sell the injury. before I get to Scorpio and Sammy, I have to point out that Wardlow had a promo. This was his first babyface promo. I
Yep.
want to know what you thought about this. He came out of the babyface side, and I like how he looked. Like, whoa, that's what this feels like. Because he had never come out of the babyface side before. Now V knows that there's a heel side and a babyface side.
Yeah, no,
Yeah, you noticed that. Okay,
yeah,
so he came out of the
I do.
babyface side this time.
Shade, but yes.
It's okay. It's okay. But yeah, he cut this babyface promo. What did you think about this?
I thought it was pretty solid. This face run for Wardlow is gonna be really good. Even though I won at the end of the show, I probably gonna lose next week. So I feel as if
You mean tomorrow?
you know what I mean.
Yeah.
Look, I am on Bourbon Street right now.
You are.
Yeah, technically.
Yeah.
But it was good. I don't hate Wardlow. I like Wardlow. I think he has a bright future. I think he has a whole lot of potential. I think this face run is going to be huge for him. Do I think that he's gonna win the TNT title? Sadly, yes. But it'll be some BS if they have Scorpio Sky win it just for him to lose it next week. But I guess we'll get there when we get there, unless MJF screws him out.
That's what I was gonna. That was what I was thinking.
I think I think we're gonna get MJF and Wardlow.
Yeah.
Hopefully, please. Let me just put that in the ether. MJF and Wardlow have that happen, and then once that feud is over, then they can go their separate ways and do other things in their careers.
Yeah. I definitely. So I think let's just say it. Scorpio Sky won the TNT Championship. Last week, and Sammy Guevara is no longer TNT champion. Woo! It looks like we're going.
Ain't got good. Sorry.
It looks like we're going towards a mixed tag team situation here. They're picking up where Cody and Brandy left off here. And actually, it's funny because Ty Conti actually tweeted Cody today, as we record, and said, "Hey, Cody and Brandy, you guys just left us with with your mess, pretty much. When are you guys coming back?" That's what Ty Conti said. Cody actually responded. And he gave this whole long thing about haters are going to hate and keep doing your thing. And basically, girl, we're not coming back. You're on your own.
You could have just said that. Yeah, please. Say registrations, please.
Yeah, like, if you see it, he gave a whole, paragraph.
I saw it, and I just okay, no.
Yeah.
No.
Ty's begging for help here, and Cody's just like, yeah, no, you're on your own. Girl, bye. But yeah, and they finally acknowledged that Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara is actually together on television. They haven't, to my knowledge, acknowledged that on TV yet. So this was the first time they acknowledged that. So it looks like we're gonna get Paige Van Vent. Is that her last name? Van Kent? Van Vent?
I think it's Van Vent.
Van Vent. Okay, that sounds right. Yes. Okay. Paige versus Paige and take your pick from American Top Team versus Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara. That looks like the feud going forward here. And she being Paige, pronouns pal, signed her AEW contract on a fallen Ty Conti and Sammy Guevara. Hot angle to end the show, hot angle to start the show. I mean, I do think next week, I do think tomorrow, and we'll leave it all of this in. This is going to be just, I'm not editing anything. This is going to be just how it is. We do have a TNT Championship match tomorrow night. It's Scorpio Sky versus Wardlow. I think that MJF screws Wardlow out of this match.
Please.
I don't think Wardlow wins this match. I think our feud going forward is Wardlow and MJF. And that'll just add fuel to the fire there for the Wardlow MJF feud. Scorpio Sky continues on as TNT champion, and we off to the races here. That's my thought.
And congratulations to Scorpio Sky being the first black male. Male. Okay, we're not gonna forget Jade
Yeah.
or Nyla.
Right.
The first black male to win a championship in AEW, and
He's
the
also the first AEW tag team champion. Like Scorpio
is,
Sky has gotten a good push in AEW. I see
and
a
the
lot
girls
of.
were mad.
Go ahead. Sorry.
The girls were mad, of course.
Of course, but you know.
You're abandoning your core white base. That was a real tweet.
Wait, what? What was it?
That
What was
was
it?
a real tweet.
What was the tweet?
You're abandoning your core white base. That is a real tweet. Mm-hmm. Yep. Yeah.
I would say I'm surprised, but I'm not. I'm not.
It's hard to not be surprised. It's like if you wanted your recognition, you got it. You sound stupid. You are stupid. But then again, looking the way you do, I can understand.
Yeah.
Anyway, but seriously, congratulations, Scorpio Sky. I'm very, very happy for him. I always like
Same.
and it's deserved. Him bringing up his record at AEW, I was like, okay, yeah.
He's been undefeated for 364 days as of last week. Well, 365 days as of last week. So
what is that?
yeah.
So yeah.
So, in singles competition, of course, he's been defeated in tag team and for like multi-man matches.
Matches, yeah.
Yeah.
But,
so
yeah, they had a good show.
They had a really good show. I give them credit for it.
What do you rate it?
I'll go for it. I'm giving them a 3 count on this show.
Damn.
I think this might have been. It might have been one of the best Dynamites in some time. Definitely of the year, but I'm trying to think even further than that. I mean, Jeff Hardy's debut was perfect. I mean, we knew it was coming, but it was perfect. Jericho's turn was great as well. I didn't see that coming. Like, I mean, Scorpio Sky wins the TNT Championship. I didn't have any problem with any of the show. Tully Blanchard also was fired from FTR. We missed that part on the review, but yeah, that happened. What a show! Yeah, I'm going with it. I'm going with a 3 count.
You know what? Go ahead and keep that up there.
Wow, this might be your first 3 count for Dynamite in a long time. Long time.
Yeah,
I mean,
it was really good. I can't say that I hated anything besides seeing that's not the point. But it
was a good match.
It was a good match. I'm not gonna sit here. I watched it because of Scorpio Sky. I kind of like blocked him out. I'm like, oh, okay, great. But no, honestly, seriously, truly, honestly, it was a good match. It was a good match, a good show. I could not find anything to say to be critical about.
Me either. We just went through the whole show. No issues with any of this stuff. We got an AEW World Title match impromptu. Like what? Oh yeah.
It's for the AEW World Champion. What?
Yeah.
I was sitting watching. I'm like, did I hear that right?
Yeah, and you might have been under the influence of something, right? And hear that and just like, wait, huh? Yeah, I know.
Is it something? No, it's not. No.
That's pretty much what we got for you guys this week.
Yeah, this is what we got. So, Mike.
Whoa! You guys can find me on Twitter, at DJ Mike EQ, and on Instagram. Get this, it's Mike_EQ on Instagram because my name's Mike. Where can they find you, V?
Look at actually getting right this time. So on Instagram, I'm KP_the ruler, and on Twitter, I am _WatchMikeRome. And you can also follow the show on Instagram at @GoForThePin_show, and on Twitter at @GoForThePinShow. Subscribe to our YouTube channel because we up there and out there. You can go ahead and just put Go For The Pin in
we there.
You can just see my big ass head and one of my many hairstyles that you've probably seen. And yeah, that's really it.
Big thanks to Janelle once again. Janelle from HR.
Oh God, thank you so much.
thank you to Battle Club Pro as well. Look out for Battle Club Pro April 20th. I know Janelle ran down a whole list of everything that they have. So just hit her up, hit up Joe for any other information. And yeah, if you're around the New York City area for WrestleMania weekend, Legends is where it's at. Big wrestling viewing party, WrestleMania viewing party, both nights, Saturday and Sunday. So hang out with Wilkins from the Jobber Tears podcast, hang out with Mr. Black. They'll both be there. I'm assuming Janelle will be in Dallas, so that's why she did not say that she would be there. But yeah, and have a good time. It's a great I was there for Revolution, so it's a great party. So yeah, that's all we got.
Well, with that being said, thank you guys so much as always for dropping in with us, listening to us, watching us. Just make sure you like and rate us 5 stars, all that good shit. I'm trying to think, is there anything else I need to say or think about? Send me gifts of
puppies.
Yeah, for my birthday. Yeah, go ahead. Preferably chow chows, huskies, corgis, anything but chihuahuas. Because fuck those dogs. But
yeah,
thank you so much, you guys. We really appreciate it. And thank you once again to Janelle. Thank you.
Yes. Now, V, you gotta go. You gotta go finish celebrating. It's your birthday.
Yeah.
Happy birthday to V again. King V's birthday. King V Day. Yeah. Good night, everybody. V's gonna go and have himself a good old time.
A great time.
I'm sure. Good night.